Okay, here we are. Let's see, I'm trying to show you a Google website. I built this in another class as part of a project I was doing for my teaching at Long Island University. It seems we have a lot of tools we use in our web design and web development, and I wanted to create an online resource for my students to go and get resources and potentially interact or have a discussion. So I use this Google site, and I've included a lot of the different Google tools. So let's just go through the menu here. On the left hand side I have a basic HTML videos. I grabbed the videos from YouTube. They were created by others, and they provide very nice examples of how to code with HTML. In addition, I grabbed some CSS tutorials, and here they are embedded in this set. This is a wonderful way to share work with your students, and my goal was to encourage them to look on the web to find their own tutorials that they could share back with us in the class. Quite often when students are thinking about how to do something, the information is available for them if they know how to search. So this repository kind of became a stepping stone to get them into the habit to realize, hey, I can go out on the web and get more stuff myself. This here is a mini course that was created for one of my ed tech classes. Here we have a module. I put together 4 modules to represent 4 stages for creating a website. In this example, basic static website, we're using hand coding. Here's an example of a video I recorded. The film shows me actually writing the code by hand, something I strongly encourage students to do, to actually use their pen and paper to write the code before they type it. This way it commits to memory. And I gave a bunch of assignments here where they would actually write the code by hand and then type it out. And here are examples of the code in text and HTML. It's actually the same code, but if you say one is HTML, it becomes a web page. So they have examples here and resources. My second module. This is how you can create a comp. We use another tool here called the balsamic. Kind of sounds like the vinegar. And we use that to map this drawing with the different boxes for the main content. Here a slideshow would go. Here's the top navigation. This was a very nice tool that one of my classmates shared with me. And one of these days I'm going to actually buy it. It's so much easier to mock up your sites when you have a tool that you can just sketch things out really easy. I tend to start with pen and paper, but then move into a drawing program like this, because then you have the actual sizes and dimensions. You can lay it out and then come up with your actual code. And here are the examples. And down here there's a discussion forum. The discussion forum is going to be helpful if you can get the students to actually contribute. In my actual class, it's face-to-face. Students, they like to talk in class, but outside of that, they're not really too keen to jump into a discussion forum because we are a face-to-face class. This module is about styling. There's a number of assignments here, and again, here's where you can add your topics using the Google group which I created, New Media Networks. You'd have to belong to this group to actually contribute to it. Another neat feature of tying together the many tools available from Google. In the fourth module, we introduce some scripting. Each one of these modules has the links to the reading and the assignments right on the top. Hit the back button, and then you can see all the assignments are here, as well as links to code. Here's an example on how to create a slideshow. This actually takes us to an external page, which this guy gives us the code to make a nice slideshow, which is interactive. And having interactive items on your web page make them much more interesting. And this gentleman gives you all the code and script right here for free. You just need to know how to ask the questions, and you can find there's a lot of stuff available on the web. So those were the four main things in my mini course: HTML, CSS, creating the comp, and interactivity. Also, I have here a file cabinet. This became a great resource which students really enjoyed, and there's a Google spreadsheet in here, a guide as a book, another book. Well, we can just click it and open it. Okay. Seems like this is taking a little bit while, a little bit of a problem, but the reality is I have the book here, and it might be the browser that's not letting me open it up. The fact that I have a PDF book there that you can view is very helpful. There's a number of books we put in there. Here's examples on coding. PHP and my SQL. Very nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 actual PDF versions of books are available here, which is pretty helpful to students. Now, down below, I added the class outlines. These were the outlines of each class I was working on. More importantly, here are some other resources. Specifically, PSDs, data extensions for a Photoshop document. These items, normally you have to use an Adobe tool such as Bridge to See, or open them up in your native tool, which would be Photoshop. But here, Google manages to render the example and we can see it clearly. This is pretty amazing. So as our students made comps for what they were going to build, they uploaded them here prior to coding them out. So we have a tablet version, the mock-ups for mobile. I put in a number of guides here for one audio, digital, web development tutorial. Any kind of useful resource I just provided here, made it available freely. And again, there's a forum. We also added code examples are here, and you download the code. We had some Photoshop classes, and here we added the class lessons. Here's the actual Photoshop classroom in the book. These are where the lessons came from. So a student could watch this, they could watch the tutorial online and actually do the lesson at the same time with flipping back and forth between the screens. And down here, again, there's comments. And we also used a survey. We used a survey for testing. We used a survey here for testing the different features.